So I'm Julie Azuma. I was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1943. My parents were able to get out of the incarceration camps, which most people call the euphemism internment camp. They were in, I think, 1942, and they were able to get an early departure. So they got $25 and a train trip to Chicago, and had, sometimes I'm angry with them because had I been born in Tule Lake, I would be able to present myself as a survivor of the camp experience. As they each left camp, they didn't know where to go, and so they came to where my mother was and my father was. They had very menial jobs in the beginning. We belonged to something called the Ellis Community Center when I was little. So, you had Girl Scouts and church school, preschool. So anything that could happen in the community stemmed from this community center.
So you learned Japanese there? No?
5 years, no. Because we were so resistant to learning Japanese. I don't know this for sure, but after camp and that experience of being incarcerated for being Japanese, a lot of people decided not to behave in that manner or learn or understand the culture, or they just cut away those ties. And I was 40, and I thought, all my friends are in their 60s. If I keep on this track, I'm not going to have any friends by the time I'm 60, right? So I decided to become Asian American. It broadened my community. It broadened all the people I knew. Every year or every new group, you get to meet different people, and so they kind of age out, and then you try and find another group, and you can only be on a board maybe for 3 or 4 years or 2 or 3 years. Each board that I belonged to, and I belonged to a lot of boards.
Welcome, apple pie, apple pie. Welcome, beef noodle soup, beef noodle soup. Welcome, casserole, casserole. Welcome, curried chicken, curried chicken. Welcome, falafel, falafel. Welcome, kimchi, kimchi. Welcome, lasagna, lasagna. Welcome, pizza, pizza. Welcome, sushi, sushi. Welcome, your favorite red, my favorite red.
I love community, and it could be a number of communities. I just really enjoy being part of a community and bringing those communities together. So when when people are looking for something or looking for someone or looking for an organization, a lot of people ask me how to find something. When people are looking for maybe, like a job or a connection. I'm a very good connector, but I'm also, this space is here and the last space I had. Both of these spaces are here because they're community centers. So before COVID, we would have maybe 2 to 3 meetings or gatherings a month here. And so the sense of belonging is why I like community so much.
I'm Nicky Paraiso, otherwise known as Nicasio Ver Paraiso. My passport says Nick Anthony Paraiso because my father was Nick, and then his full name was Nicasio. So somewhere in the 4th grade, I thought, oh, I should claim that name, Nicasio. So then I started using Nicasio, and then Ver, which is the Spanish word to see, is my mother's maiden name. So Ver Paraiso, or Paraiso, which is the anglicized version of it, is in Spanish paradise. So Ver Paraiso, to see paradise. So that was the name that was given to me. When I was 5 years old, so because my cousins who lived a block away, the Peñas, they had a piano. They saw that I was like drawn to the piano. Oh, and we had this radiator at home, and I would start playing on the radio. So they got this second-hand upright piano. No, but we want you to be a doctor. We want you to be a lawyer. We don't want you to, but we will give you. This boy has a certain musical talent, so let's see how far this can go. But then again, the pressure became, oh, so now he has to be the best of this. So, which then I rebelled against. And there was my conflict between music, and this was classical music, and something called theater. I would read the Village Voice, and then I had to see these shows. It's like, oh my God, I've never been surrounded in the dark by actors. It was really exciting. I don't know anymore if I'm making this up or it really happened, but one of the actors in the play broke the fourth wall and yelled at a person in the audience and said, like, how dare you come here? I said, my God, is this part of the play? Or is he really mad at his boyfriend? And why is he talking to them? So then I thought, oh my God, this is so revolutionary. And that's when I said, this is so strange, but if you go do it on 4th Street, it's possible. This man comes out, all dressed in all like a white t-shirt and a white pants and white shoes. And he said, Nicasio, come, we're waiting for you. He knew my name, Nicasio. He didn't say Nicky. He said, Nicasio, come upstairs, we're ready. We're waiting for you. And then I said, oh my God, what's going to happen? And we're smoking joints and drinking wine. I said, oh my, this theater? God, I love it. Yes, I'm the only Filipino boy in the school marching in McNamara's band with green trousers and this tacky green cape and cardboard marching band helmet on with all these white boys. My mother said, "Ay, anak ko, don't worry, honey. Just be like them and do what they tell you and be polite and don't be with the rough boys. Come right home after the rehearsal. Do not stay behind and be a slacker. No daydreaming, or else you will get left behind. Show them how fast you are, Allah. Do your best." It took me a while to really accept myself as even being a gay man, a gay young man. You know, because my parents were expecting me, of course, get married. When my mother said, "You should marry a Filipina," and we will choose her for you. I said, "No, I don't think so." Okay, you want to know about me? I'm going to tell you.
So I always tell somebody when I introduce, I said, remember yourself twice. Mee Mee Chin. Well, I was born in China. In Guangzhou, Guangdong. I left when I was 3, so I don't really remember anything. Then I grew up in Hong Kong till 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. Then I came to America. So my early childhood is Hong Kong and Cantonese. When I came, there's only 1.5 block of Chinatown. To me, it's like compared to Hong Kong, you know, like I'm in little kids, you know, snack stuff, nothing. And I was really very, very sad. I was so sad, and I said, once I graduate from college, bye-bye America, I'm going back to Hong Kong. I keep telling myself that. I hated it because I can't even buy the little candy, whatever's in...
It was about the food?
Yeah, there's no Chinese food. The only thing is like butter and bread. because in Hong Kong that was expensive. And the ring dings.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You know, my brother loves, and those like to us in Hong Kong is like, wow, special. When I came, nobody speak Cantonese. Tai San. You go to the stores in Chinatown, if you don't speak Thai Sanese, they say, I don't understand you. Bye. Get out. And you're looking at them like, what do you mean? So I have to learn English, Thai Sanese at the same time because I couldn't quite understand my relatives neither. I had a sewing class during junior high school. I enjoyed it. I liked it. At that time, I was becoming like, I want to be a fashion designer. When I was working as a secretary, I did go to night classes to make sure I really like it. Finally, well, that's what I want to be. So that's when I went to tell my parents, like, I want to go back to school and I want to go to California because I want to be away from home. What do I know? New York is the place, right? So of course my father, California, no. So I went like, oh, sugar. So then I have to start looking in New York, and FIT was the only one. So I worked for 8-10 years and I was bored because I wasn't doing what I really want to. I was doing just regular blouses. I want to do nicer things. So I said, okay. And I went to night school too to learn how to run your own business. I prepare myself. So it took me a few years. Then finally I put my foot down. Okay, that's it, Mee Mee. You either do it now or not. So I opened my bridal shop. In my head, I said if I was a bride, and plus I like pretty stuff, and I love one of a kind. So I do custom bridal on Bowery for about, I think, 8 years. I have very unusual brides and we become friends. I have one very tiny, like a 12-year-old. She's like that tiny. And she smokes. She said, I want pockets in my. I said, good for you. I give her 2 pockets. And she's so happy. She's so tiny, and she looks so cute, like a doll. I'm very like my mother. She's still learning. She went to English school after retirement every night until 80 something. So 20 some years she keep going night school, and she was the only one never skip a class. Even snowing, I have to call her. I said, Mom, even though it's 2 blocks away, I said, you're gonna sleep, you're like 70 something, whatever, you know? Okay. Pouring rain, she would go. Even the younger people, they're not there. She's always there. That's why she learned English afterward. Yeah, so I'm like her. Unconsciously. Now I know I'm like her, but before I never get the connection.
Agosto, tell us about yourself.
I'm a pre-Stonewall street queen. And a street queen is a person who can be homeless or live in a rooming house, but you're on the street. You don't have an apartment or a telephone. So where do you communicate? On the street. And that's where you communicate what places are being raided, what place you can get free food, there's a sale on here or there. And so culturally, street queens communicate that way, and also it's street theater. It's because you're standing there, hi girl, how are you? And you're expressing yourself. And if you were during that time, so many people were expressing themselves in so many different ways, and that it's a subculture, and you had to be part of it, or you'd say, oh, they're noisy, and keep on. But if you're in the village, you see everything. And as far as drag is, after dark I used to carry a shopping bag, and that on the other part of Christopher, there's St. Veronica's Church and the old Archives Post Office and the ugly elevated West Side Highway, and we could sit on the steps, and slowly as it got darker, like dawn on a skirt, or you could put on a wig on discreetly, and sort of walk in that area and feel expressing yourself. There was a flat top pier, some people call it the Sunset Pier, and we could hook up and smoke dope or do something, but it was flat, and you could see Jersey. That only meant you got more fresh air or something, and you could scream. And you didn't bother him because the ugly West Side Highway was blaring. The social political issues are being addressed, and all I'm proud to be, is part of the crowd who protested, yelled, held signs. And so one more little body in a crowd did make a statement, and we had sit-ins and all these things, and I felt very happy. This is an ensemble, teamwork, and that now time has marched on. The first gay march in 1970, and we shared holding the banner, but I was part of Gay Activist Alliance. And if you talk to gay libbers, the Gay Activist Alliance, they worked within the system. We were revolutionary. We wanted confrontation. We wanted blah, blah, blah. But it was for the cause of the LGBT community.
My name is Margaret Yuen. I was born in New York, but my family didn't speak English, and I didn't go to school until first grade. So I was living a Chinese life at home, meaning that, I was eating Chinese food and speaking Cantonese. We just stayed home. We didn't go anywhere. So we didn't have exposure to English until first grade. Then right after first grade, we left to Hong Kong. Came back, I was 11. But unfortunately, my parents being the illiterate even in their own language, they didn't really go to school in Chinese or English. They probably didn't think of how we should have gone to bilingual school when we were in Hong Kong. So we missed the opportunity to learn English, which we could have in Hong Kong. So when we came back, all of us stuck with no English. So that makes me very different than other kids. They're either immigrants or they're not. Well, I'm neither. Every time someone say, "What do you say again? Can you say that again?" I'm so embarrassed of my English that I eventually decided, made a decision. I think in 6th grade, I decided I just won't speak. After I finished high school, barely passed, eventually I was start talking. Before that, all my social life was at Chinese school. But what's wonderful about Chinese school is at that time, full of people just came off the boat from Hong Kong and get off the plane, just like me. In English school, my report card says, shy, quiet student. And then in my report card in Chinese school, she'll say, well, she could use a little more quietness. So a music teacher brought a dance back, notating that, okay, you walk this way, 8 steps, you stop, you take a step forward, and you take the lantern and turn to the right. That was her note. So that was my first dance class. I think I was 16, we saw a flyer when the Methodist Church on Madison Street offered free Chinese dance. Okay, so I think I would consider that start dancing. I think that initially what attracted me to dance, it has a lot to do with the fact that I can't speak English. So dance, like I didn't realize it when I get on. I was, wow, it was so expressive. It's so much fun. It just feels right, and it feels free. It feels like I can be joyous without thinking about all these other concerns. in the early 80s, I said, I want a professional company because I want Americans to see a different image of Chinese people. Because up in the 60s and 70s, so you see them in hand laundry, they see them in a restaurant like my father, and they don't see them any other light, like my own culture or something. I have had it. I just felt that I couldn't I'm not articulate and talking about it, but I could dance it, right? So if I show really good dancing, that will make a difference. But setting my own path came from the fact that I was able to take free classes. It came from a gift, right? It came from someone put that together, who had the foresight, right? To offer these classes to the young immigrants, right? So that's why I felt I need to continue doing that.
Is Eung Park. I'm a Korean American artist. I just found out 2 years ago, my father was born in Japan, Osaka, Japan. There's so much unknown story I wish I'd known. But he told me about B-29, which is a bomber. How much he feared the sound of B-29 flying over Osaka. It's like they're gonna drop the bomb, and someone will die. I hope it won't be me. You know, he over under the bunker. He could actually die, but he somehow managed to survive. My father, he lived in fear for a long time because of World War II was really devastating, and the Korean War didn't help either. He didn't like flying at all.
So he never came to New York to visit you?
He never came. Once you're at a young age, you're going to traumatize. It's hard to you have to overcome that. Because of the Iranian crisis, hostage crisis, there was tension between Iranians, Middle East against USA. But I lived when I was in school. I took art classes. One of my students happened to be Egyptian, and I got to be really good friend with him. One day he said to me, "I like you very much, thank you. If you ever need an apartment to stay, you want to get away from your parents, you can spend some time with us." Yeah, it'll be an adventure. So I moved in with the 3 Middle Eastern students from Penn State University, and we hung out together. We ate food together. All we ate was lamb stew every day. Like, don't you guys cook anything like lamb stew? But they were wonderful, friendly. We were like regular kids. Because I lived with 3 Middle Eastern students, my viewpoint is somewhat changed. Because when you get to know the person, and you get to know the person, you live with the person, your perception changes. It's just without a doubt. So when I made a piece, I call it Let's Talk Pillow Talk, because I made 500 little pillows and advocating, like harmony. Let's Talk Pillow Talk is like when you get to know a person, well, you be more familiar with their thinking. You destroy your own walls around you, so it become much more open. Because of him, because of his thinking, and I'm doing what I'm doing now. At one time, I remember listening to news, and when I lived in Portland, there was a story about an Asian woman. She was found guilty. Jury member did not believe her. Simply, she did not look at jury members eye to eye. So she was hiding something because in Western culture, you look in the eye. With a lot of Asian culture, you don't look at eye. You need to respect confrontation. So, but she later on, verdict was overturned because of the cultural differences. That's the reason behind I'm looking at you. That's the piece. Now these days, when I make eyes, I don't see it as I'm looking at you. We're all looking at you. Like meaning, we have 80 million voters for Joe Biden, 85 million. Mm-hmm. So we're 85 million people looking at you, looking at the world, looking for the truth, and so whole world is looking at you. So I have about 15,000 bottle caps they're looking at you. Years ago, I came to Portland to be with my brother for the last time. And he was about to die, and only had about maybe less than a week to live. And we had a nice chat, and the next day, it was a cloudy and rainy day in June. Cloudy day was kind of really, it's rarely see June in Portland. Rainy kind of days rarely happen. Most of the time it was like sunny and dry. I was walking down the street like sad, and the man from my neighborhood, he's an older guy, white guy. I said, "Hey, look, man, look behind you." Dark sky is a rainbow, like a rich, bright rainbow there. God, this is amazing. And then, thank you for pointing out. I was so busy walking, I didn't see behind me. And I said, then you saw me. Yeah, it's quite beautiful. Yeah, it is.